because you came on one of the early nakeds. So there's sometimes beings out there, you know, that they see the word naked, it pops up. It's quite a strong word, no? Brings up quite a lot for people, like, wow, what does that mean, getting naked and so on. So, and one question I just have for you today, I know it's quite a long time ago, but can you remember back if you had any fears, if you had any fears that, you know, maybe stuck in your mind that you can remember before you took the decision to come to a naked retreat? That's just what I wanted to ask you today.
What fears did I experience coming to my first naked retreat?
If you can even remember, because I know that was way back.
So that was back in 2016.
Yeah.
It was here in Portugal, in Gravito. And yeah, it was in this beautiful period of our lives that we were in Malta and already journeying together. And then finally there was the opportunity for me to join and come to naked. And I guess the fears that were alive, I mean, there was a lot of uncertainty for me. It was like I had just gone through, just a year before, the space of fear and uncertainty is connected to letting go of what's known, letting go of business, letting go of the reality that was adjusted and perfect for everybody to see me and accept me in the matrix. And then coming to naked was like this opportunity to, all right, this is the next step. This is where is it taking me, you know? And funny enough, where did it take me? Into marriage, moving to Portugal, leaving Malta. So there was a slight fear of the unknown that I guess became real, and really, yeah, stepping into the unknown with this first experience, with this first retreat. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually that's lovely that you bring the unknown in, because I know that's something you and I speak a lot about. We might call it the void now, or the you know, the space beyond the space beyond. But yeah, you bring up that you went into the unknown. It changed everything, but you was in a huge turning point of curiosity, of really, as you say, we use this word letting go a lot of, right? It's like letting go, but you were really like facing a lot of your conditioning around life, and then you went into a pretty epic journey for the next few years as well. You were through marriage, through meditation, and so on, right?
Yeah.
Do you want to share just a little bit of that, because then you came to a second naked?
Yeah. It was really a catalyst naked for me. Like as you said, there was already this big journey of letting go that had taken place, and you know, going from living in a 2,000 euros a month flat for myself with office to living in the tent at Peppi's for almost a year, and you know, with basic needs, and yeah, and that was really wonderful. And then when I got to experience what naked brought, with all the rituals and the experiences that we went through during this week, and thank you, brother, that's better. And yeah, especially I remember like the transparency, the possibility to be in this circle of 20 plus 25 beings, I think, and really using the tools that I was already exploring with you and with the rest of the family there in Malta, of sharing, being transparent, supporting each other, exploring ways of nurturing one another in different ways that are the common ones, and discovering the feminine inside of me by exploring the story of my masculinity, the story of my being. And that got me really deep into, wow, there is so much more inside here that I can explore, and it goes way beyond whatever I can think about. And there I met Sarah, and she was volunteering there, and we fell in love, and I decided to drop everything and be with her and start a reforestation project in Portugal, which led to my journey into permaculture of 5 years plus and creating a non-profit organization in Italy for reforestation, community building, nature connection. And now that's fading away and it's turning into something else. And in between there was the second naked, meeting my next partner, Ami, wonderful being that gifted me so much. And like, yeah, naked is a journey, you know, be ready. that's that's all I can say. Put on the belt, you know, and be ready for the journey.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing, as always, so transparently and so alive. But it's lovely. I want you to continue speaking because I love the way you're expressing this. Is that you say buckle up and get ready for the journey because at the same time we don't know what it is, right? But the journey itself is a question into what is your truth, right? Are you living your truth? That's been our relationship now. We're like we're calling each other into that. Is this true? Is this the truth? Are you we're holding each other accountable for like is this really what you want? Do you really want this? Is this what you know? And actually listening to you and of course so beautifully witnessing you in the last several years of your own journey, your own transformation. What's the gift about that is seeing how it's not about one way, right? It's just about you constantly being in that deeper inquiry of like, okay, is this who I am now? Is this true to me now? Right? And then being also able to let go. Okay, this relationship is no longer true to me. Okay, I move. This one's giving me this medicine, and I got to face this. Okay, now this, and it's like, okay, permaculture. Boom. I called you Nature Nico for however many years. Now I called you Gaia Eros. It's like things change and evolve, right?
Things change. Things evolve.
That's also the beauty, right? Of living nakedly, right? That's what I want to bring in.
Yeah, absolutely. Being ready to embrace the change, the shifts, to not get stuck in one personality, one ideology, one way of being. I remember for me the thing that really touched me the most in our friendship, in our connection, and in naked was the question, why are you alive? Like I will never forget the moment in the car that we were traveling together from either a yoga session on the beach or acro yoga, and you asked me, why are you alive? And it crushed me. It changed everything. And the difference is like there was that moment when you asked me that for me it had that impact of more like, why am I alive? What is my life about? Like something like really long term and big, like something had to shift on a radical scale. And then as life unfolded and the shifts happened, I started to realize that what you're saying, like that it's a constant readjustment. It's not like I found my life purpose, that's all, I've gone through like 20 life purpose in the last 6 years, if not more, and it just keeps on updating itself. And that's where I feel for me, life is fueling itself. That's where the energy is flowing, like constantly. There is something not as an addiction to something new, but something that really takes my whole being and is like energetically just pulling me there, and I just give all of myself to it. And I'm happy. I'm happy because I'm alive. I feel the aliveness running through me, and there's just nothing else in life than to be life. Yeah.
I love that. I got some goosebumps on my back as you said that. You know what I love as well? Something popping as you said that. I love this thing about, it's not like, oh, this one purpose, but what it brings up for me is, you may have heard me say this before, but like we are purpose, like our being is purpose. We exist, we are here, right? And yesterday I was speaking to Corinna and it's often there's this thing of like, oh, I want to become something, or I'm becoming something, or I'm trying to, be something, right? And I was saying like, well, the minute we arrive out of the womb, we've become, right? It's like, we were in that gestation phase and then we come out of the womb and it's like, boom, we land. Okay, here I am, right? What next, and then of course the series of life events then start to present themselves. So yeah, so thank you for that. It's like a constant, like we're here, and at the same time there's this constant unfolding and discovering. But I feel one thing I want you to say, I know we're cruising along because there's a few things I wanted to ask you today. Because, you know, I don't get to see so many beings' personal transformation as maybe as close and personal as I have yours, right? And so, yeah, I guess like what would be, yeah, in this moment, you may have come on this call today. Also, there's something specific you want to share to those tuning in, which you're more than welcome. You know, the microphone's yours, but like I'd love you just to also share just some of your own naked truth of, yeah, just some of the challenges that you've had, maybe, or just something that just comes up from that place now of like, because me and you know, people look at us and they see you and they maybe see me and we're playful and we're alive and you know, and I love that about us. We have life force pulsating through us, and that's kind of a dedication that we both have to our life. I feel to life itself and to each other. But we don't meet so many people, and I say people, divine beings that are so alive, you know, and that's something that I love. I've always tell you this, you know, your aliveness ignites me, you know. So I don't know if that brings something up for you to share.
Yeah, playfulness. I feel like if there was a challenge for me, it was to actually be able to tap into the space of playfulness, because I was so fucking serious and so holding on to my pain body, like, "Ah, everything is bad, everybody is against me." Like, and the journey that we've been on together and through Naked, if there is something like that is really alive, is playfulness. Naked is playfulness. Naked is transparency, it's connection, it's depth, but it's a lot of playfulness. And I have to say, yeah, for me, during these like 7 years since the first Naked, it wasn't easy for me to tap into playfulness. And the beautiful thing is that I've been trying to find that outside of me, and I've been attracting that outside of me. The magnificent being that have been around me, both friends and lovers and partners, they've all been just like you, examples of playfulness, of lightness and ability to laugh at life and to take things in a light way, not hooking on them and not taking them too personal, and and even if something harsh happens, to stay with a smile and salute life with a smile every day, because then life smiles back at you. And that's not been easy for me, you know, because it meant letting go of all the stories that were keeping me in that space of frustration and pain body and frowning and feeling like victimizing myself, and the world is against me, or like, you, dad, mom, always see me in this way and I cannot move from here because you see me in this way, you know. It's our realm of identification, and still has to drop away in order for aliveness and playfulness to be there. So I feel that that's what's real right now in me. As you ask this question, like, what were your challenges? And of course there were many others in the breakups, in the relationships, in the dynamics with my family, in moving from a country to another without knowing what the hell I'm doing, and you know, many other things. But if there was something like internal that really moved and shifted and transformed, is the ability to tap into playfulness.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, yeah, let's take a breath. I know you love to take pauses and breathe. Let's just breathe together and just see what's here rather than me coerce you with more questions.
There is, for me, a deep sense of gratitude to be on this journey together with you, to be part of this new formation. Yeah, it makes me emotional. And I'm super happy that you welcome me over and over again, you know, whatever I have to bring, with all the strange transformation.
Why you always do this to me?
Because it's beautiful. This is beautiful. This is,
Mm,
yeah, joy can come in tears.
yes.
Yeah, appreciation, and really eager to play together, to, yeah, to engage on this journey again, and to support, inspire, be inspired, you know, by the participants, by the other facilitators, playlitators. I don't know. Maybe we should call ourselves differently.
Yeah, I like that. You know what I'm like? There's always these words. It was like, oh, he's changing these words again. And paper say that nobody understands what you're trying to say. But yeah, it's like, yeah, thank you so much. You know, I think that's one thing that I cherish so much with you is our brotherhood, sisterhood, our love, and our intimacy and the trust that I've been able to grow with you through our friendship, and the support and the love. And you know, it's hard to say. It's not hard to say. I could list like thousands of moments, and really, literally, like somebody might be like listening with thousands. No, literally, like the subtle moments of our friendship that have been so nourishing and nurturing and supportive in this, like, yeah, in this, like, in this realm of like understanding. You know, like some people you meet in their life and they get you. You know, and I I get a sense that you get me beyond even beyond the words. I love that.
And I love that. That's a slight anticipation to a naked trick.
I love
Sneak peek.
that. So you know what else is coming up as well. Like I feel like I was just we were just saying about your own journey of transformation and maturing, if you want to use that word, but just evolving, growing, and now seeing you, like really seeing you. Yeah, what came up earlier. So you pointed out those things that you've been on, the life, the marriages, all these different challenges life keeps throwing at you, and in the last sort of year, I've just seen this sharpening of your own sword more and more and more, and you're just like holding, like, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm at. This is what I want to bring, to the world. And it's not that you've never wanted to bring anything to the world and you've never embodied that and been sure of it, but it's like at the moment I see all the elements, it feels like, and I'm sure maybe in 10 years time I look back and go, oh, the elements again still now coming together, right? And I'm walking with a walking stick, and if it lasts that long. But do you see what I mean? Does that resonate? Like, it's like they're all kind of
Absolutely.
like, that's what I see. And that's also naked
Absolutely.
for me, it's like, that's like, ooh, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, and yeah, as I said before, it's like this ongoing journey. Like there are always pieces of the puzzle coming together more and more, day after day, week after week, year after year, and there is always something. It always feels like, something is coming finally together, and it felt like this when I was diving myself into the permaculture. It felt like this when I created the Tree and the Water with Sarah. It felt like that when I parted from Sarah and engaged into the new realm of the gift economy with you and the self pleasure, and that felt like, wow, yeah, okay, life is coming alive. And then, meeting Ami in the next naked, and going on this deep journey together during COVID, in isolation in the Netherlands, and then traveling to Costa Rica. Like, it always felt like a new purpose was coming, yeah, and life got a new meaning every time. And this is not just about the relationships, but also like after coming out of the relationship with Ami, us doing the community incubator together, the conscious uncoupling together. Whatever that might mean for you listening, might sound like something completely abnormal or extravagant, but yeah, like our journey into creating community, that felt like a life purpose, like something that I was putting myself fully into. And I feel there is this ability to always like, yes, I put myself fully into, but if then it doesn't resonate anymore, okay, I'm able to acknowledge that and to harvest the treasure from that experience, from that wisdom, and to move on and see where life is going, and bring those treasures with me and bring them where life is taking me. Which, as you know now, is in the Ista family. It's about transmitting, whole creating spaces that where Eros can be expressed and explored, and different ways of relating, temple culture. So it's like bringing everything that has been there in this journey, and modeling it and allowing it to flow into this new realm, and harvesting from this new realm, and who knows where it takes in 3 years times, and maybe it will be a longer journey of 20 years, I don't know. But this openness to life, actually to trust life, that's something that Naked gifted me, that you and Dara gifted me through Naked, trusting that life's got my back. Geez, man, I'm getting really emotional today. And there's something alive in me that I have to share. What are you doing outside, sitting on the steps where you told me to be inside with better reception and less sound?
Oh my God, it's so true. You know what? It's so true, man. I was like, make sure you got good Wi-Fi and you're inside, right? And then we've been driving for like 3 hours and we needed to stop. And then we went walking to these different restaurants, and one had super loud music. One was dark. And then we find this food place. And then Constanza's like, you can just go over there. Look, there's some nice steps and sit there. I'm like, there's nowhere else to go. And like cars coming by, motorbike. So thank you for doing what I say, but not doing what I do. Oh man, I hope it's not been too disruptive for you. And
No,
I feel a sense of embarrassment now, and I also feel a sense of like, one thing that is big for me and part of, let's say, the Naked value system, if anything, is impeccability to your word.
well, you've been impeccable to your word. You just suggested me to be indoors.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you have to be indoors.
Thank you. Oh man, thank you. You see, that's brotherhood got your back, and that's brotherhood got your back. I love you so much. Even when I'm falling, you're still supporting me. I like that. I'm like, beautiful. I love this. You know what I love as well? It's so funny. This feels like an evolution of our co-creation as well, because now that you're stepping more into the play-facilitator role, and we're coming together. So for those watching, Gaia couldn't make it to the Portugal retreat, but he's going to be joining us in the Sicily retreat, which is his home country. And we also have a gathering that happens after the Sicily retreat, where those that have been on a previous retreat get to come, and we co-create more of a community feel in that, where we cook together. It's a very different feel. If there's gifts that each of the beings want, we kind of create a space where we all decide, people suggest their offerings, and we decide what might feel good for that week. It's a lot more, you're kind of building on the foundations of what the retreat invites. So we're going to have a whole
community
month,
experience.
a community experience, exactly. Yeah. So we're going to have a whole month in Sicily together, and we haven't been in Sicily for, well, I mean, you're kind of going back there now, but you're going to be doing a fair bit of work there, right, in your homeland.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, and that's actually something that I want to express my gratitude for towards you and Dara and Naked, and what Naked brought into my life, because I've been feeling often during this journey like going back to my roots and bringing what I had to bring back home, and somehow it seems like it's happening now, and I mean, for me, I just feel like a huge art expansion when I'm thinking of like Naked is coming to Sicily, and it's coming to a place that belongs to a Naked brother, and that's exactly where I've been growing up all my life. So the thing that changed my life the most and initiated me into a roller coaster of transformation and transformational trainings and experiences that completely transformed my life is actually coming home. And there is a lot more coming to this venue, to this area, to
Yes.
including myself going there
Yes.
and seeing what it's like to be there.
Well, you might live there
But
for a
anyway,
while. You've got the Istas coming there. You're doing other temples there.
yes,
It's lots of
exactly,
beautiful things happening.
exactly.
And also, just I know we're coming to an end now, but it's lovely with the. I know you're familiar with the Joseph Campbell. I know it's just one, mythology of journeying, but this kind of hero's journey. I like to call it the heroine's journey. I'm always curious where's the the feminine aspect of the hero's journey. But just let's not get lost in that for now. But it's like that sense of you leave the Shire, you leave the Shire, you leave the camp, you go on a journey, you collect treasures along the way, and then ideally that completion of the cycle takes them back.
You suddenly muted yourself as you were speaking, and beautiful.
That motorbike was like just booming and booming in my ear. It's like, okay, dude, what not right now? Yeah. So anyway, that's what it feels like. It feels like a definitely. And also, just to say, one thing I want to say that you said earlier, for again, this ability to adapt and to be adaptive, I think that's one of the greatest essence of the human being, right? It's like our resilience, our ability to adapt, to change, to evolve. And we could talk about that for a whole podcast. But, I think that's what you brought up today, which I really appreciate, is that, and also that non-attachment within me and you, because there's been like, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and it's like, okay, but it's evolving. And I've always said, no, follow your impulse, follow the truth of your heart, go where that's leading you. I remember we were driving down the motorway one day, and I'm like, yeah, I think you might be like, yeah, maybe, I don't know if this is the place for you. You might be traveling somewhere else for a while. And you're like, no, this is it. I'm here. I'm staying. I'm not leaving. And then 2 months later, you're like, I'm traveling around the world. I'm going here. I'm off. I'm going back to Sicily. I'm taking this to the hometown. It's like, okay, cool, bro. Rock and roll, Yeah, but I'm bringing that in just as this thing of always can we trust that each being is we love them unconditionally, and they're in the space they need to be, and can we allow that? Can we trust that? Can we trust that everyone's exactly where they need to be, and that we can support their quest, but ultimately how can we support them to tap into that sense of sovereignty, that sense of freedom, which is what Naked's about, that sense of I am a unique divine manifestation of life force, and I can have conscious choice of how I want to live. That for me is self-empowerment. Right? That's freedom right there. Yeah. And the more that we instill that into ourselves, live that as an example, and then offer that to others, it's, for me, it sparks an excitement of possibility. So maybe I'll just leave it there, but I'm going to give you the mic for the last word. So if there's anything you want to share to those maybe tuning in that might want to come on Naked with us or come on this journey, or anything else you want to share, I'm going to leave it to you, brother.
Yeah, what it's to trust the heart calling. If you feel that your heart is being pulled to join, to be on this journey, to join this family, and to discover yourself through this exploration, just trust your heart. And if your heart is not there, trust your heart. It's not for you. But the moment that our heart is calling us somewhere, and then we start thinking, is this right for me? No, I'm comparing. Shall I do this, or shall I do this other retreat? Shall I invest this money in another way? That's just overcomplicating everything, and then very likely you're gonna end up there anyway. That's why I'm just saying, if your heart is there, if you feel the pull, if you feel almost as if your soul is there already, and you need to allow your body to reach your soul, to get your body there where your soul is already, then just go for it. And it's going to be an epic journey, and there is going to be so much treasure during this week, and it will really stick for life, whatever happens, differently for each one of us, but it does. It's a rucksack. It's a rucksack that you will carry with you all your life, and it's not heavy. It's full of treasures, but it's not heavy.
Ah, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much, brother Brista. I love you.
I love
I see.
you so much,
I
man.
see you in. I see you in 1 hour, and we will be dancing next week on a joyous dance with the. It's the level one.
Ah, again.
And yeah, it's gonna be beautiful to be co-facilitating with you. You got me now with this. I'm gonna be playing with this all the time. I've got to come up with a new word. Yeah, for everyone tuning in, you heard it there, and just follow the links. If you're on the fence, jump off the fence. If you're at the top of the cliff, jump off the cliff. The invisible net will always be there for you. You're coming into a very beautiful, empowering, brave space that we've been holding for over 7 years now. This has been a beautiful container with a clear intention, to support the evolution of humanity, where we rise out of what we have been conditioned to be and into who we can become together. And that for me is why I get up in the morning. And among other things, I sometimes need a pee, but ultimately this is one of the things that drives me. So we're kicking off the 2023 with Portugal, over to Sicily with Gaia. Then we're going to be going to South Africa, where Gaia may be joining us. That's in the field. We're just planting that seed. But either way, we've got a beautiful team happening in South Africa as well. And then there's going to be more to come in 2024. So thank you all for tuning in.
I want to highlight that these are going to be naked 15th, 16th, and 17th, right?
Boom. Thank you
so much. This is not something new. This is something that's been going on, yes, for 7 years, almost, for 14 naked in 7 years.
Yeah.
So there is a big family that's waiting to welcome you.
Thank you for that clarity. Mwah. I love you. Ateja. Ateja.
Ateja. Ateja.
I'm learning slowly.
Ateja, 3 years.
Beijinhos. Beijinhos.
Beijinhos.
Beijinhos. Ciao.
Ciao.